In the previous video, we created a base fabric pattern and the first layer of the pattern in Substance 3D Designer. In this tutorial, we will continue by creating the remaining pattern layers for the fabric. Let's focus on the next part of the pattern, which features bold intersecting lines. Observe that in this section, the intersecting lines from the pattern we created earlier appear once, while the second layer of the pattern shows 4 intersections. This distinction will guide our workflow. To create vertical lines, start by adding a tile generator node. Set the X and Y amount to 1, change the pattern from brick to square, change the size mode to normal size, and set size X to 0.65 to create a vertical line. To duplicate the vertical line, connect a safe transform node to the tile generator and change the tile amount to 2. Next, create horizontal lines by adding a transform 2D node to the safe transform node and rotating the lines 90 degrees. Finally, use a blend node to merge the vertical and horizontal lines. Now, incorporate the stripes from the previous pattern by duplicating the stripe pattern nodes created in the last video. Connect these to the opacity input of the blend node. Align the patterns by observing the white center of the fabric, which is where the first pattern should align. To achieve this, add a safe transform node to the first pattern and set the tile to 2. This tiles the pattern twice. Add another blend node and use the second pattern as the background and the first pattern as the alpha mask to blend them together. Before adding colors, organize the graph by adding dot nodes and frames as needed. Identify the 3 layers in your graph: the base fabric pattern, the first pattern layer, and the second pattern layer. You will need 2 blend nodes for the coloring process. Start by adding 2 uniform color nodes and assigning distinct colors to each. Using contrasting colors will help you visualize the layers more effectively, and you can update these colors later. Connect the 2 uniform color nodes to a blend node and use the second pattern as the alpha mask by connecting it to the opacity input of the blend node. Add another blend node and connect the base fabric pattern to the foreground. Use the combined pattern as the alpha mask for this blend node. Finally, review and adjust the result. Ensure the base fabric pattern remains intact and verify that the second pattern displays the light green color while the first pattern displays the white color. To better understand the workflow, try changing the 2 colors and observe how they affect the overall result. By following these steps, you'll achieve the desired effect of a layered fabric pattern with distinct colors and clear intersections. This method ensures flexibility and allows for easy adjustments in the future. To create our third pattern, we will follow a similar process as before, but instead of duplicating the nodes, we will build it step by step as a recap. Begin by adding a tile generator node and setting the X and Y amounts to 1. Change the pattern type from brick to square, then adjust the size mode to normal size, and set the size X value to 0.03. Connect this to a safe transform node, which will ensure the transform operation is safe for further adjustments. Next, connect this node to a transform 2D node and rotate it by 90 degrees. Blend these 2 results together using a blend node. Now, add another tile generator node. For this one, set the X amount to 100 and the Y amount to 1. Change the pattern mode to square. Adjust the interstice X value to 0.5, creating a stripe pattern. To rotate this stripe pattern, connect it to a safe transform node and rotate it by 135 degrees. Then, link this stripe pattern to the opacity input of the blend node. To achieve the required 9 intersections of this pattern, start by adding a transform 2D node to the blend node and set the offset X and Y values to 0.28. Use another blend node to combine this result, setting the blending mode to add linear dodge. Duplicate the transform 2D node and change the offset X and Y values to -0.28. Again, add another blend node, set its blending mode to add linear dodge, and connect this transform 2D node to the foreground input of the blend node. Finally, since all patterns so far have been tiled twice, we need to do the same for this one. Add a safe transform node and set its tile amount to 2. With that, the third pattern is complete and ready to be incorporated into our fabric design. Adding this pattern to the overall design is a straightforward process. Start by connecting a blend node to the combined output of the other two patterns. To define the color for our third pattern, add a uniform color node and connect it to the foreground input of this blend node. Assign a color to the uniform color node. This will serve as the base color for the third pattern. The chosen color can be customized at any time to suit the design requirements. Next, connect the third pattern we just created to the opacity input of the blend node. This step will seamlessly integrate the third pattern into the overall fabric design, allowing it to contribute its unique characteristics while maintaining flexibility for further adjustments. To view the results of the design in the 3D view, simply right-click anywhere within the graph and then click on View Outputs in 3D view. This will display the design you've created so far. If you still can't see the output, it's likely because the base color node in your graph is connected to a uniform color node, which could be overriding the fabric design. In this case, locate the uniform color node, delete it, and reconnect the base color node to the output node of the fabric design you've built. This will allow the actual fabric design to be visible in the 3D view, reflecting the pattern and color adjustments you've made. By doing so, you'll ensure that the fabric design output is correctly visualized, enabling further tweaking and refinement. With your fabric pattern now complete, you have the flexibility to make any final adjustments to suit your needs. If the pattern appears too large, simply add a safe transform node and tile it to your desired dimensions. This step allows you to scale and modify the pattern with ease. The beauty of Substance Designer lies in its versatility, so don't hesitate to experiment with different nodes and tweak the values to explore new possibilities. By playing around with the settings, you'll uncover countless creative opportunities to refine your design. Each small change can yield surprising and exciting results, making your workflow not only productive, but also a fun and inspiring process. Enjoy the journey of creating and let your imagination run wild. Happy creating!